So first things first, we're going to distress our gift bag. So these are £5 for £1 on the website, and then I'm going to be using the Art Textured Blobs Part 2, and I'm going to be using these three. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with my lightest colour in my distressings, and I'm just going to go around the edges. And we're just going to build up that distressed look. Doesn't have to be perfect because we want it to be distressed. So if we go, just add an extra deep bit around the edges. So we're just going to build it up. So then I've got Vintage Photo in the distressings, using the same distress pad. So I like this one because it does just adds that extra level of darkness to it. It's really starting to come together now. I'll finish this part up. So what I'm going to do then is I've got some other distressing. So I've got tea dye and walnut stain. Tea dye and walnut stain was what I meant to say. I'm just going to bob my stamps onto a block. These are sort of a different tone, but what I've gone for is browns really. Around the edges. You won't be able to always see it because if it's the darker bit, you're just building up how, you see, we're just building up that little bit of texture just as we're going along. And then I'll go in with the same colour, same stamp, but with the walnut stain, which is an even darker shade. So if we add that, there we go. So I'm probably going to go in with the same two colours on my different stamps. I'll just give that a quick wipe down. And I'm going for my bigger splodges. In the same tea dye. Just add that bit on there. Just building that up, just so it looks nice and distressed. And just a couple with the darker shade. See where we're going with it now. And then wipe that down because I'll only end up putting my hand in it. So use my, looks a bit like a Furlac sack. So I'm going to go in with Vintage Photo for this one, so I want it to blend a little bit more. So we're just going nice and random. We're only going to press in certain areas just so it gives me that bit of texture. Yeah, so we can see what we've done there. So move them to one side. So then I'm going to move this to one side because this is done with for the minute. So bob that there, and then I've got my little MDF gift tag, which I'm going to use the same distress inks same distress inks, and we're going to go around, same again, starting with the lighter colour, so just make it that little bit more distressed. I've gone all the way over with that ink, that was my lightest one. And I'm going to go with Vintage Photos, that's a little bit darker. I'm just going to blot that. Just make sure to blend it nicely. So that's how I'm going to leave my tag. So then move those out of the way, and then I've just got some little bits of stickers that I've just found in my crafty stash. So I'm just going to, she says when she can get it undone. So I'm just going to place these on here. And just adds a little bit extra to it. Take that off there without ripping it. Same again, we're just going to wrap that around the edges. So just adding that little bit of texture to it. And then I'm going to use this little birdie. Again, 1 second. I'll make a little incision. It should. There we go. I'm going to put my birdie just over the edge there. So we can do the same, so we can fold that over. Like so, give that a good stick down. What I would do now, well, when I've finished with my stamping, so I'm going to use the distressed alphabet and numbers set. So I'm going to do this for, so I'm do 60. So what I'll do is, I'm going to stamp this in black. What do I do first? No. First of all, I'm going to add some blobs with my bigger blobs. I'll go in with Vintage Photo. So I'm just going to, just so it matches then our gift bag. Just so you can see. And then, actually take that off there, waste not want that. I'm just going to add a little bit around the edge of my stickers. So I'll get that real vintage feel to it. And then I've got my, alphabet. I've stamped it in black just because I want it to stand out. And I've got my, could have put it on that bit, but I didn't. I've got my small third, my 60th. And then I'm going to bob it down there, like so. And then what you can do, I've just got some white glue, so it's basically just your PVA. I'll take the lid off it. So I've just got my white glue. So I'm just going to put a blob here, because all I'm going to do is get a little paintbrush, because it'll dry clear, and I'm just going over the top. So it'll just seal those stickers down. Just give it a nice glossy finish. Yeah. So leave that to dry while we finish off our gift bag. So next job is we're going to be stamping onto this, and I'm just going to add a little bit of extra texture to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip my card. So I want a nice frayed edge. You won't really be able to see it very much, but I think we should just add a couple of blobs. It really is super faint. It almost just adds like a glossy feel to it. I'm not being precious about where I want these to go. So I'm just doing it on my hand, so it just adds, it's picking up all the different bits of to it there. So I think that's gonna go there. And I've got some craft card. I'm gonna do the same, so we're gonna tear it off. Like so. And then so put that to one side. So we're going to do the same. So we'll get my trusty tea dye, white tea dye. I'm going to go all the way along there to just make it so that's got a similar sort of texture to it. Going darker on little bits of wipe that down. So next bit, so we're going to do the 60th. Oh no, we're not. We're going to add some blobs. Then make it all fit in nicely. I love these blob sets. They're so easy because I love flicking paint at stuff, but sometimes when you're trying to keep things simple and quick, having them there, it just makes a massive difference. So I'll just do my 60th. Just wanted a little bit funky. Like there. So do the same again because it's don't want it in black. No, let's go walnut stage. It's a dark enough, but it's not jet black. So just stamp those on there. Just go in. There. So that's that bit. So then before I stick this on, so these are going to go here. I want happy here. So I'm going to use my distressed alphabet in the uppercase. So I'll take my Y off, move my P, move my H actually. I'm going to go across here. I'm going to go sugar and ink on there. There we go. Then we just need So we're ready to start assembling now. I'm gonna bob that there actually. 60. I'll just get my tape runner. I think you can't go wrong with a tape runner, they're just so quick. Love red tape and the white tape, but these just for ease. Amazing. So then what I've got is, just to add some extra depth, I've got some Hessian. I'm just gonna snip a bit of that off. Definitely cut too much, but we're alright. So for this I am going to use the red tape, just because I really want it to stick and it's got that extra little bit of texture to it. So I'm going in the middle. Use my knife to try and prise it apart. Trim it off. Then it's time to add our gift tag. That's still a little bit wet, so it's just a little bit bubbly, but it will dry flat. So, need to add a little gift tag. I've got myself some string. I'm just gonna go on the top. Like so, and that is my finished distressed gift bag and card. Gift bag and tag. So I hope you've enjoyed this. One's a little bit different, it's a little bit funky, but I've really enjoyed it, so I hope you have too. Thanks for watching. Bye.